Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am back yet again with the MK3 Supra build. I'm so excited because we got a big change today. I'm going to be installing the big brake kit. Well, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but it is kind of late right now. It is 1:30 in the morning, so I'm just kind of getting a little bit late start. Just kind of felt like working on the car. I've been wanting to do the next video with either the brakes or the coilovers back there. I got some TNs. Let's just talk about the brakes. So we got the Wilwood kit. I think they used to be offered by AZ Performance or ARZ Performance. So I think this is the same kit, but I got this actually from Drift Motion last year. It was kind of high. It was about $1,700. I know that's pretty steep, but considering most people usually do like one of the cheaper options like the Mercedes front brakes or something like that. But I don't know, I just kind of like really wanted this kit for some reason. I think it just looks super nice. I think it's a little different being the Wilwood kit. It's been around for a long time. I think it's gonna work perfectly fine. It also has stainless steel lines, has a nice machined bracket, so I think it's gonna be pretty good. I've been meaning to put this on for the last year or so. I don't know why. I just like get stuff like this and I just procrastinate. Well, actually, one of the reasons is that the car was having or is having a slight brake issue. It sometimes gets soft, and it's not all the time. It's just kind of like randomly. I don't know if there's just an air pocket stuck somewhere. I've been trying to drive a little bit in the rain. That's also another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is since I replaced the fuel pump again, and since I did a couple more things to the car inside, I've just been driving the car and it's been driving great. I did last video just driving. It was like probably 30-45 minutes worth of driving. Didn't have any issues. It was a little hot, but the last couple days it's been nice outside and I've been driving it. That's also part of the reason why I don't like necessarily doing these big things, because like the coilovers, because I'm just a huge procrastinator and sometimes I'll start something and I just won't finish it. Like I said, it is a little late, so I may not do everything tonight, but I think it's going to be a pretty easy job to replace these front brakes. Has everything basically I need here in the kit. And I also have another thing. I also got a fuse and some wire. I've actually been waiting for this for a couple days from Amazon. So I got that. That's to power up the amplifier. So when I install these, I'm also gonna weigh everything, compare it to the old parts. I don't suspect I'll lose weight on this because this rotor is massive and it's super heavy. So it feels like it's gonna be heavier than the stock piece. Caliper does feel relatively light considering it's a 4-piston caliper. But yeah, I'm gonna wait just to check everything. But first thing I want to do is go ahead and pop this in and install this, because I've just been running around with no audio in the car. I'm not sure if you can see it, but that yellow wire there is the power cable, and it's definitely not long enough. I fished through the firewall this green cable that's hanging down there because it has a little clip. It's basically my jumper cable, jumper wire that I use for like troubleshooting and stuff. Because it has a clip, I'm gonna clip the new wire in there and pull it through because it's so hard to get a wire in there. So this system is just a little mini amp like I showed a couple videos ago. It only really runs on a 15 amp fuse, so 14 gauge should be perfect for that, and that's the size of the wire. And this fuse holder as well is 14 gauge. This was only like $4 or $5 on Amazon for like a 2-pack, and they came with 20 amp fuses, but I'm just gonna run with the recommended 15 amp. Got it. That worked out perfectly. Just a little alligator clip on my test wire. And basically I'm just gonna route this along the back of the firewall and over. It's gonna be a little bit longer, but wanted to follow this like loom that I created, and I'm just gonna run it outside for now. When I rewire all this stuff, I'll integrate it and like shield it and everything like that. All right, so I don't know if I want to go ahead and like loom it with this heat shrink. This is like the smallest heat shrink that I have, kind of left over from my 1JZ swap. And for 14 gauge, this would just fit basically one wire, and it'd be kind of tight, but it would work, and it would use a majority of what I have left here. But I don't know if that's really going to be useful, or if I should get the like expandable kind and use that. I don't have any more, I think, or I don't have enough. But I think I might just use this because, all right guys, scratch that. I have been trying for like more than an hour now, trying to get this yellow wire through some of this like heat shrink type of stuff, and it's just not the right size. It's too small. It fits, and I can get like a foot or two, but at that point it just kind of gets stuck. I tried using a smaller wire to help fish it through. Didn't work either. It gets stuck. I just need to put it in like this. I don't want to get hung up on this. And then I'll use the expandable kind, which looks nicer anyways. And it's not really going to protect it too much, but it'll at least make it look nice, clean it up, and you know, eventually I'll combine it with the rest of the loom. So that's what I'll do for now and get this finished. Okay, I did mess one thing up, just a really minor thing. This, I have it over this, and I meant to put it behind this bar here so you can go with the rest of the wires. Man, it's late. It is super late. Whenever I get the radio back out of here and unplug it, I can just depin it from the thing and then loop it under. So that's not really a big deal. It's way too late. I thought I was gonna have more time to lift the car up, take the wheels off, and maybe even start the brakes tonight. I'm just gonna go ahead and plug in the battery and try this out, and then tomorrow we'll start the brakes. So crazy. I was like hearing a buzzing noise. It was a little bit louder than that, like a few minutes ago, but I started hearing this, and I was like, "What is that noise?" It sounded like an electric razor. Such just the evap system on the Corolla, it turns on like randomly after like 4 or 5 hours after parking. Alright, here I am at the right front wheel. I'm gonna go ahead and just start taking everything apart. So you can see it's not all the way in and it's touching the dust shield. So I'm gonna try to bend it back. Worst case, I'll just trim around the whole edge. I think if I only trim the edge, the rest of it is already kind of like, I'm not sure if you guys can see it on the camera, but it's kind of like concave in the middle. So I'm not sure you guys can see that, but it like goes in right here, and then it comes straight up this way, and then it comes back out. It comes back out like that. So it's kind of like dished a little bit. So I feel like I could put it all the way back, and it won't hit the rest of this. Maybe this part, I'm not sure. It's really only this part that comes up. So I'm gonna try to bend it first, put it back on there, and then see how it looks. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep this. Shit, it's full. Alright guys, so I got this on here, and there's space right there. There's space right there as well. And right there. I don't know, what do you guys think? Will I regret not just cutting out the whole thing? Seems to be good. Try to make sure it's good once everything's bolted up. And there's also one piece. There's also a piece back here, kind of interesting. This right here. It seems to be like sticking out. Like it's not part of this whole piece. Like it's part of this main piece, but it like almost does a perpendicular out to the back, and maybe it stops this thing from hitting the lower control arm. Just make sure that doesn't interfere too much. But yeah. All right. So one thing I wanted to do is weigh the components, just see if there's any difference in weight at all. So got my scale here. Just want to be precise, so I'll set it to grams. not be able to see it because it's under here, but 7,665. Sorry, 7,656. And you know, the stock rotors, they're obviously used, so they might have less material, but don't really have too many miles on them. Okay, so this one feels lighter now, actually. I could have sworn they were heavier, just felt heavier taking out of the box, but now that I compared them, it feels lighter. This one you might actually be able to see through the little hole here. Okay, so actually heavier. Just bigger surface area, so it doesn't feel as heavy for the size. 7788. I don't know if the calipers are also right or left. Nothing indicating that, so I'm just gonna weigh this one here. And it has this. This one is 2206. Let's do this bracket here. 390. $390. Wow, it's even. 2 pads. And might as well rate up brake lines too. Make sure this gets on there good. Stay. 193. 192. Optional shims. There's like 4 of them, so let's just assume we're going to use all 4. About 8 grams. Just put it up here. Shim, or in the back here. So this caliper has the pads still in there. I'm not going to bother taking them off. And may have a little bit of fluid, but it shouldn't be too much because, I mean, it did drain out pretty good. 5843. So 5,844 grams. All right, let's take a look at the lines here. These are 220 grams. They're already pretty dry. So some quick math here. Basically, the stock setup, 13,719 grams. The new setup, 11,570 grams. So much lighter for the Wilwoods, about 2,000 grams lighter. The rotor's a little heavier, but it's also a lot bigger, a lot more surface area. The biggest weight savings, I think, is gonna be in the caliper itself. This number has the pads, but even the new caliper, the bracket, and the pads, that's still less than that. So that's where the big savings is going to be at. So yeah, I think that's going to be definitely a huge improvement. I'm curious to know if you guys have other big brake kits, how much those weighed, compare, see how much everything is, see which one's like the latest set. But yeah, that's pretty good. So try to put everything back together now. On Gearhead Garage's video, he has that washer right here on this side, but he also says on his video that the bolts are pretty much in the position they're supposed to be at. So why wouldn't the washer have been over here? And I think the washer needs to go up against this knuckle. This washer, not the lock washer, but this like bigger one right here, should go up against the knuckle on this side, and then the lock washer on the knuckle on that side. So I'm doing it a little bit different from his video. I just took a peek at his video because I was trying to figure out which orientation this should be in, which one to use over here. But he has the washer over here, and I figured that'd be nice if there was a washer here, but I figured because this is aluminum, it should be between this and the knuckle. So I'm gonna put it there, a little different. If you guys think I'm doing it wrong, maybe let me know. I'll change it up in the future, but I think it's good that way. You know, one thing I didn't check yet is whether my wheels will fit. So that's gonna be interesting. The mounts are this size, whatever the size is. I don't know, I guess 10. But the other side is a little bit smaller. I don't have that size. This one's a little too small. What the heck? Alright, saved by the Husky. I found this in my toolbox. I haven't used this set in a while, but apparently it's a 9. So the mounts for the bracket are 10, the mounts for the caliper are 9. I know that I may need to adjust this still, haven't put the pads in yet, but I want to test fit my wheels. I got a 17x9 plus 25. Ooh, yeah, they fit. Holy crap, guys. Alright guys, so they do fit. There is a ton of space right here. I have a plus 25 offset, so they're definitely like pushed out more. I don't know what the stock offset is on the saw blades, but they're also 16s. These plus 25, so they're definitely out more. And there's also, I think, plenty of space right here. I don't think you definitely won't be able to fit 16s. It definitely had to be 17s. And maybe even like not as aggressive an offset as plus 25, you might be able to still fit a 17-inch wheel. Maybe even like a plus 35. I don't know. I mean, like, I guess you would. It also depends, I guess, on the face of the wheel, like the spokes and stuff. So yeah, definitely Wedge Sports 17x9 plus 25 fit over the Wilwood 4-piston calipers. I don't know about the 6-piston. I think they're a little bit bigger, but I don't think they're that much bigger. But yeah, that looks nice, man. And it's kind of funny looking through the rotor and you can see like the bracket. There's like a hole in the rotor, as you can see, like right through it. All right, guys, so I do need to adjust this caliper. There's a little bit more space in the front pad than the rear one. It needs to be pushed back. And I think just one washer will do. They did provide a bag with like 4 washers. And you know, if I needed more, I could have just got more, but I think that's really all you'll need to adjust these. I think you're supposed to put it between the caliper and the bracket and just push it back one. Perfect. Holy crap. Perfect. I swear, this is an 11. Are they using SAE sizes maybe? This 11 fits on here. It's never used this 11. Never used an 11. What the heck? This thing continues to bottle me. This is crazy. Alright, so I got it locked all the way to the left, and it seems a little tight, but it's routed the same way as the fronts. It's just really tight right here, but that's the way the front is routed. The fitting on the stock one's a little bit, I think, lower. but it goes from the back where the caliper is under the little bracket and then over and then through the bracket. Comes over, under, and then through, then back up. So here it is on this side. So again, it's coming, it's a little bit lower on the stock one, but it comes under, over, it comes under this bracket first, then through it, then back up. So it's the same, and it's just a little tight. Let me try locking it the other way. You can tell it's a little pinched here, but that's how it is, stock. So this one is turned in the direction that this one was before. It's also a little pinched, so I think it's fine. It's just weird. I feel like there should just be another couple millimeters of length on this back portion. I wonder if I bend the bracket back that way, if it'll help any. I don't know. Seems to be fine. Hey guys, it's been a couple weeks since the last clip. I've just been super busy with other stuff going on and did the one side and then I just like stopped, haven't touched the car, and I'm just gonna basically do the other side and just gonna get it done. I'm not gonna film the whole thing. So we're just gonna do one of these, just basically snap my fingers and it'll be done because I'm just gonna knock this out. Wait a minute, is this working? Oh yeah. Alright guys, let's go ahead and bleed these brakes. Pump it. Pump it. Alright guys, one thing I noticed is that it is a 1/4 bleeder, not metric. Pump it. 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 Feels good. I'll have to drive it. Twist it again. So, good. don't have the camera mounted in the best spot, just the same spot I had it last time. And I'm not gonna go for a really long drive, just kind of feel out the brakes around the neighborhood. Feel a little soft still. Feels so good to drive the car, man. Oh. And it was hot today, but it wasn't, I should say it isn't too hot right now. No grinds. I was worried about the dust shield because I trimmed off like one piece but pushed back the rest. But no grinds, turning. Oh shit. Oh. Uh-oh. So, tripod's not really stable where it's at. Sorry about that, guys. The car stopped pretty quickly once I got on it, but the pedal's not too high. So, I don't know. I'm gonna need to figure out if that's normal or what. Slowing down. So it's a little squeaky right now, which, you know, isn't bad. I'm just still trying to figure everything out, but I don't want to slam on it too hard because I don't want to alert all the neighbors and stuff. Let's just try to slam on it. Ooh, that was kind of interesting. Feels good now. It's noisy for a second, but I haven't felt the noise yet. Again. Let me turn around here. Actually, at the next one. Some squeaking on very slow speeds. I hear a very like faint jingle. I'm not sure if this is something loose that I left somewhere or if it's that little thing on the caliper that's like holding the pads in. It's kind of jingly. Stop right here. Okay. That wasn't too bad. feel like maybe the coating still needs to come off. It really felt like grabby at the last moment there before I just accelerated again. Coating's coming off. Looks real good. Don't really see any leaks. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I gotta call it. I am wiped. I don't know what to say. Just kind of procrastinated on this video, but I'm glad it's done. And brakes are okay. Gonna do a little bit more bleeding, test driving, just little by little around the neighborhood, then around the area, then a little bit higher speeds. So I want to make sure everything's good on the brakes. No interference with anything. No leaks, just nothing. I'm just glad I got that done. That's another thing off the list. At some point in the future, I'll get the rear big brake kit. I don't know if I'm gonna do Wilwood or just do one of the other options out there. Who knows? But I'm just glad to get this done. Next up, I don't know what's next. I got that portable head unit finally in. I might do that. Might do the coilovers. Who knows? Just wanna kind of enjoy the car now that it's back on the ground. If you guys are interested in more MK3 Supra, GR Corolla, and FRS content, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.